When Britney Spears entered a hair salon on February 16, 2007, she shaved her head, a moment that went viral and signaled the beginning of a turbulent period in her life. Witnessed by both fans and paparazzi, this dramatic gesture represented a star's deep plea for assistance after more than 10 years under the unrelenting spotlight of celebrity. This crucial event not only brought attention to her issues after her divorce from Kevin Federline, but it also hinted at the difficulties she would have later on, such as a contentious conservatorship that would change her life for years to come. The sight of her makeup-smeared face as she gazed blankly at her reflection while lock after lock dropped to the ground will live in the memories of many of us. Tens of paparazzi peeked through the salon window, capturing the event for the world to witness. It quickly became apparent that this was a huge cry for assistance rather than the typical pop star image makeover. In addition to losing contact with those closest to her, Britney nearly lost herself on that Friday night, which signaled the start of a year. Considering where Britney is now, it seems unbelievable. She is 35 years old, has a successful music career, is the star of her sold-out show in Las Vegas, and spends a lot of time with her two sons at her enormous house in the Los Angeles region. Her Instagram photos portray her as a lively, healthy lady who is confident, enjoys having fun, and is clearly in love with her new fitness model boyfriend, Sam Asghari. That night at Esther's hair salon in Tarzana, when she was prepared to do whatever it took to shed the princess of pop persona she had worn since her teens, signaled the start of a transition and compelled numerous major news outlets to write her obituary in case the unimaginable occurred. She has since come a long way. 3 months prior, Britney had filed for divorce from Kevin Federline, whom she had previously referred to as her true love. The marriage's breakdown sent the mother of two into a downward spiral and determined to destroy everything. According to a friend of the ex-couple, she has always fallen hard for romances, and this time around was no exception with Kevin. It broke her when it was over. Britney used to talk of her dream of one day leading a normal life with a husband and children in a normal home. But the demands of celebrity became too much for her. According to The Acquaintance, she only wanted to raise a family and enjoy the little things in life. We were all aware that it was unlikely to occur, but when she needed a mental getaway from her life as a celebrity, she would go there. By the end of 2006, Britney was living with infamous party girls Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton as a way to deal with the sorrow of her broken marriage. The trio self-medicated on the attention they received from each bare crotch photo by making headlines everywhere they went. As Britney plunged deeper and deeper into the shadowy corners of the Hollywood club scene, her midnight exploits worried family and friends more and more. She was finally urged to check into a rehab center in Antigua just days before the event involving her shaved head. But the assistance was short-lived. She discharged herself a day later and boarded a plane to return to Los Angeles. According to a close source at the time, she tried to visit her children as her first action. However, she was told she needed to receive aid first. When she attempted to visit them, she kind of just went crazy. When she finally gave up, she ended up working in the tiny mom and pop hair industry. She informed the salon owner that she wanted to get her extensions taken out because they were too tight. Britney became agitated, grabbed the razor, and began the task herself, after being urged to think twice about such a drastic approach. It was commonly assumed in the days after her spontaneous haircut that she had done so primarily to avoid having her hair drug tested. However, as we now know, her logic was far more straightforward. She practically shaved her head in an attempt to distance herself from her background, according to a source. She believed that someone else controlled every aspect of her life. People were constantly attempting to tell her what to do, how to act, etc. in her thinking. In addition to directing her on what to dress and how to fix her hair, they were touching her all the time. She had a doll-like feeling. The ultimate act of disobedience was shaving off her hair. It was nearly a purifying encounter. She used it to make it very evident that she would no longer submit to control. Britney had already been in the spotlight for more than 10 years at that point. We had all seen her transform from a charming, naive Southern girl into a global superstar, from her time on the Mickey Mouse Club with Ryan Gosling to her well-publicized relationship with Justin Timberlake. However, all of that wealth and celebrity had a cost, as Britney eventually tried to rip off her hair due to the burden of our admiration and unrelenting expectations. We have all done that to her in some way, according to the source. She had nothing to show for all the hard work she had put in. She felt she had no voice in her life, had a broken relationship with her family, no husband, and no access to her children. She felt useless. Following pleading with her family and team, Britney checked herself into treatment again 2 days following the buzz cut, but her stay was brief. She soon returned to her estranged husband's home and begged to see her children. But as before, she was denied. She then unleashed her anger by hitting the car of a photographer who had been pursuing her while brandishing a green umbrella. According to the acquaintance, it was a horrible moment. It was like torment not being able to see her kids. She was also unsure of whom to believe. She even believed that her talks were being taped since she was so certain that she was constantly being monitored. As we now know, that weekend's activities were just the start. What transpired was 11 months of complete chaos as the world's biggest music artist collapsed. Numerous pastel-colored wigs, late-night drugstore runs, a phony English accent, and other suspicious characters attempted to exploit her growing vulnerability. There was constant drama at her estate on Mulholland Drive, a mountainside. Danger seemed to be lurking around every corner. Everything abruptly stopped in January of the following year when Britney's mother, Lynn Spears, was able to enter the property and take her out of her house while tied to a gurney and sent to the hospital. As someone who genuinely loves her told me, she gave it her all in the battle to regain her life. That reveals her true self to you. She has strong emotions, which might expose her vulnerability but also her bravery. She lived. Nobody I know has been able to openly pull themselves back from the brink as Britney did. For that, you must admire her. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Your support means a lot and it helps us keep bringing you awesome content. Thanks for watching.